Alrighty, SY Sports back with another college football video. Today will be my Big 12 talent ratings. We will be going from top to bottom of who's the most talented and who's the least talented in the Big 12. So we probably know who's going to be last, but this year I have a new number one, and that is Texas, coming in at a rating of 310. So far that's the highest rating that I've done. They did really well at the transfer portal. They've had several top 5 classes the past few years. They have a decent amount coming back from last year's team. They did lose like 12 players to the draft, and funny enough, none of them got drafted. But the big thing is, if Quinn Ewers is as good as everybody says, and with the talent that they have, this team could probably. They say Texas is back, but they could be pretty good this year. Alrighty, coming in at number 2. Oklahoma. They have a rating of 300. Oklahoma was always number 1 for me until this year. They just lost a lot to the transfer portal. They have a good amount coming in, but they just lost all their top tier players, either to USC or to wherever they went after Lincoln Riley left. You know, Oklahoma's got multiple top 10 classes, and they had the most players drafted in the NFL draft from the Big 12 last year. So they're hurting, but they still recruit well enough to where they're going to be in the top 2 probably year in and year out. All right, at number 3, this one was surprising. TCU coming in at 271. Now, clearly there's a big drop-off there after Texas and Oklahoma. TCU has a lot coming back from last year's team. They didn't have a whole lot leave for the draft, and they didn't have a whole lot transfer in and out, but they did lose a big-time piece or a big-time name in running back Zach Evans. Alrighty, coming in at number 4, I have a tie between Oklahoma State and Baylor. They have a rating of 259. They both lost a lot from last year's runs, and they have, good quarterbacks coming back, but Baylor also lost Gary Bohannon. Even though their backup was pretty good down the stretch last year, they're still losing the big-time pieces. And, well, teams recruit probably top 30, I would say around top 30 classes year in and year out. So there's still going to be a good amount of talent in there, but they just lost a lot from last year's teams. Coming in at number 5, this one was actually shocking. It's Texas Tech. Texas Tech coming in at a rating 254, so similar to Oklahoma State and Baylor. Texas Tech is losing a good amount. Nothing big in the transfer portal, but they don't really lose a whole lot to the transfer portal. So, their classes are consistent of quantity, mostly like three-star players, a few 4-star players, and not quality like Texas and Oklahoma. Number 6, this is another shocking one to me. It's Iowa State coming in at 229. Now, that's a huge drop-off, but the fact that they're still in the top 6 talent-wise in the Big 12 is very shocking to me because they don't recruit well at all, and they lost a whole lot from last year's team. I was looking at Bill Connolly's returning production, and they have 37% of returning production. So they just lost a whole lot from last year's team. Coming in at number 7, I have West Virginia at a rating of 217. This seemed a little lower to me, but then I realized they lost a lot, and they don't recruit as well as I thought they did. The only big thing coming in is that JT Daniels. Now, if JT Daniels is any good as what he has shown and can stay healthy, they'll probably play way better than what their talent rating is coming into the season. They've lost a lot from their junior classes all the way up to their 6-year COVID guys. So they're basically surviving off their last 2 classes, and they're not great classes. So I don't expect West Virginia to be that good, but if JT Daniels plays up to his potential, they'll be better than what their win total is at, and I believe it's 5.5. And coming in at number 8 is Kansas State at a rating of 209. This is about right year in and year out. Kansas is a tough recruiting base to get people to go there, but I believe they have a good enough coach, and they did bring in Adrian Martinez from Nebraska. Now, we'll see if he was the issue at Nebraska or it was a Scott Frost issue. And I just think him at Kansas State is a good fit for that program, and they'll probably end up winning seven around 7 games this year again. All right, and then number 9, everybody's favorite Kansas. Finally hitting over the 200 threshold for me, and I've been doing these ratings for 3 years now. Finally hitting over 200. They have, according to Bill Connolly, they have 82% of last year's team coming back, so that's the most in the Big 12. They didn't have anybody transfer out. They had a few guys come in, and they just have more quantity over quality recruiting classes, and it's not really like great recruiting classes. It's like the lower 3-star players, but they have a whole lot coming back, so that could be a good sign for the future of Kansas football. All right, well, I hope you enjoy. Please comment down below, share, like, and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. See ya.